Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Shout out to Rashad McCants out there on Gills Arena. Y'all know that they're not feeling Rashad McCants on Gills Arena, right? Because he's like the one anti-LeBron guy on the show. Everybody else is a LeBron twerker, probably outside of Kenyon Martin, right? Kenyon Martin kind of seems to be indifferent to it all. He can give LeBron his props, but he seems indifferent. The rest of the guys on the panel, Gilbert Arenas, Brandon Jennings, Nick Young, they just be all twerking, and the host, I think Josiah, they're all twerkers for LeBron, right? And because of that, they've attracted a LeBron fan base, a LeBron audience. Now, Gil calls himself a Kobe fan that trolls Kobe fans. You make sense out of you make sense out of that. You're a Kobe Bryant fan trolling Kobe Bryant. Y'all let me know how that work, right? So you have that. So Rashad is kind of like the odd man out on the show. When you have a segment and you have 3-4 guys twerking it up in a row for LeBron, Rashad comes in and he does the total opposite, and it just kind of gums up the works. It messes up everything, and that's what happened again. As you guys know, the Lakers lost Game 1 in a blowout, an 18-point blowout to the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road. And in the aftermath of that, people were kind of discussing what happened and talking about Austin Reeves and various things. So Rashad then decided to take it in a totally different direction. He took it in a direction of, no, wait a minute. This is on LeBron's lack of leadership and all of this. And when he said that, the entire set was literally stunned into silence. And I was like, whoo. So what I want to do is I want to play what Rashad had to say here. I want you guys to listen to it, and then we'll come back and get into the show.
Oh, man. 16 points in the first half. LeBron James set the tone early about the energy that was going to be displayed throughout the game, and ended up with 5 points in the fourth quarter. You talk about true leadership with a guy like this. 23 years, you're beyond a vet. You know exactly what it takes to beat a team like this. You've seen everything. You know all the schemes. You know all the strategies. You know what's going to happen. As far as getting your team involved in the first half, second half, that's cool. The game was close up until the fourth. So what's stopping you from taking the game over? It's always been my question with LeBron. What's stopping you from being who you are in your core? If you are the GOAT, we keep talking about this conversation. Like, display it, show it. 27 points at the end of the game, everybody look at the box score and say, hey, he did his part. No, he didn't do his part. You're supposed to take over the game. 12 or 17, of course you're supposed to take more shots because you're supposed to will your team to victory. Especially against a team like this who's going to always counterpunch you. They're always going to have an answer for your questions. So SGA's having a bad night. This is a perfect night for you to have a magnificent night, which you were on the verge of. 27 points, 12 for 17 means nothing in the loss. They asked LeBron about, what was missing in this loss. He said 33 points, our best player. And that's just a bailout answer. It's a bailout answer. Because he knows that the 33 points coming from Luka, there's 23 points coming from Austin that he didn't get. That 23 used to be 30. So Austin's capable of covering what Luka can bring. And he can up his production. DeAndre Ayton can up his production. Rui can up his production. But as a leader, you have to point out these discrepancies. You have to go back to the drawing board and you have to say, listen, man, I got to get Austin Reeves involved. We got to do a better job getting him involved and getting him involved early. When you look at the game as its totality, the Lakers struggled in the fourth quarter because they didn't have leadership. Who's taking the shots in the fourth? Marcus Smart taking shots. Rui's taking shots. All the guys are taking shots except for the guy who's supposed to be taking shots. So to defer at the end doesn't make sense to me. But, if you're the GOAT, I guess you can take games off and you can do what you want, but not on my watch.
So you feel like LeBron took that game off?
Fourth quarter he did.
Yeah, he only had 5 points in the fourth quarter. You talk Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, 8 points in the game, averaged 23 in the regular season, 15 under his average. Seems like that 15 points could have been very beneficial and useful in this particular ball game.
And you got to look at how he played. It was like he was forcing a lot of those things, pushing the ball into tight situations against a very good defensive team. So JJ has to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get easier shots for Austin.
Yeah.
And LeBron's going to have to do a better job of facilitating if you're going to be the facilitator, because you don't really have a true point guard out there, so you're going to have to go into point guard mode. You had to do what you did in the Houston series and actually play off of you. So I think that if he does that, they have a better chance of winning, but right now they don't have a chance.
It seemed like refs swallowed their whistles on both sides. Want to say Lakers 13 free throw attempts, Thunder 12 free throw attempts in the game, SGA just 3 free throw attempts, Reeves 2.
Thought they played pretty good defense, both sides. Both sides played solid defense. They didn't give away no second chance points that much. So, you know, the Lakers just got to do better, man. It's just not acceptable. Leadership not acceptable. And it ain't got his age.
All right, cool. So you heard what he had to say. Now, this video has about 900,000 views. Let me read through some of the comments because people were pretty mad. He said, this dude has no self-awareness. He's acting like LeBron didn't used to average 35 points per game on him. Another guy said, it's always an MFer who would kill for 1/1000th of LeBron's skills and success to have something to say. What the F does this bum who's never played 50 games a season talk about leadership? Once LeBron retires, clowns like him won't have a platform. You want to be Black Skip Bayless so bad. Efficiency is more important to LeBron because Clutch can blame teammates as long as LeBron does good stats. Another guy said he knows what drives in views. Will be interesting when LeBron is done, what people will focus on. And it just went, he said, how long was McCann in the league? You can see him more on here than those highlights posts of random players. Not enough. So people are pretty tight at Rashad McCants, right? People are pretty tight about that. What's my take on it? I think that Rashad being on the show, it gives the show that balance. It gives the show balance. The show has no balance. You have Nick Young, who be saying a whole bunch of stupid stuff on a regular. Brandon Jennings, he be kind of in the middle, but sometimes he jumps on the LeBron James carousel. Gilbert Arenas is a LeBron guy. No matter how much he tries to fake the funk, he is a LeBron guy. I've never heard him slander or make fun of LeBron James on that show. I've heard him make fun of Kobe Bryant. I've heard him make fun of Michael Jordan. I have never heard him make fun of LeBron James, ever. Pull up the clips. Let's see them. Right? Pull up the clips. Where are these clips? Trolling LeBron fans. Where are the clips? I've never seen it, right? You can't have an entire panel of that, man. That's after a while it gets corny, man. That's speak easy. Like, come on, after a while, like, y'all need some balance. All of y'all can't be up in here twerking it up like this. And whether or not you like Rashad, it doesn't matter. It gives the show another opinion. You just want to watch a show full of LeBron James fans? Like, come on, are you serious? Is that a show? Is that interesting? When they're all going to be twerking it up and slapping each other with honey sticks all throughout the entire show? Come on, that's whack. So I think Rashad gives that show a balance. He pisses people off, but the people he's pissing off are LeBron fans. And unless you're telling me that your entire show is just dedicated to that fan base, then fine, get him off the show. Get him off the show. If that's the whole purpose of the show, to cater to LeBron James fans, then get him off the show. But if it's a show where people are allowed to have their opinions on basketball and we all don't got to move with the same dance to the same tune, then let the man let him say his piece. Y'all be up there twerking it up. Don't nobody stop y'all. Don't nobody be running down on y'all and stopping y'all. Y'all be twerking it up. Honey be flowing all over the table. Don't nobody say nothing. Skip Bayless is making his return to ESPN First Take tomorrow, marking it almost 10 years since the last time he appeared on the network. And it's something that kind of surprised a lot of people when we first heard the news, simply because I remember when Stephen A. Smith was asked about this a few years ago, and he said, you know, kind of moved on. I don't want to go back to the past, blah, 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 blah. Then I woke up this morning and I saw various pundits giving their take on it. You know, Stephen A. is doing this because of this reason. Stephen A. is doing it because of that reason, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in the midst of all of that, Shannon Sharpe, right? Shannon Sharpe. I think I told you guys a few days ago on this channel that I'd heard some rumors that Shannon Sharpe could potentially return to ESPN. All right, after the lawsuit and all of that stuff. I heard that. I forgot where I heard it though, but I remember hearing that. Well, according to a new awful announcement report, it looks like that idea has been shot to hell. I'm going to read the article headline. It says Shannon Sharpe's first take return not under consideration amid Skip Bayless comeback. And I'm like, ooh, well, looks like I was wrong about that. But let's continue on with this report. It says Skip Bayless is coming back to where it all started. On Friday, the godfather of sports debates television will return to first take alongside his former longtime foil, Stephen A. Smith. The duo spurred on a genre of sports talk that has dominated the airways ever since, albeit in many different forms and iterations. Bayless, who's 34, hasn't exactly had a smooth go at things after departing ESPN for FS1 in 2016. Alongside Shannon Sharpe, he launched Undisputed, offering morning debate fodder that battled head-to-head with Smith and First Take on his old network. The show had a decent, unremarkable run, lasting 8 years before Bayless was shown the door at FS1 in 2024. Undisputed lagged well behind First Take in viewership for most of its history and lost its identity when Sharpe departed the show for its direct competitor in 2023. Since leaving FS1, things have gone from bad to worse for Bayless. In January 2005, Bayless was a party to a stunning civil lawsuit brought by former FS1 hairstylist, in which he was accused of propositioning the hairstylist for sex, engaging in an inappropriate physical contact, and making racist remarks. The suit has been settled, and Bayless never faced any criminal charges. With Bayless returning to ESPN under such circumstances, if for only a day, one would be remiss not to wonder whether his former sparring partner, Shannon Sharpe, who similarly settled a sexual misconduct allegation last year, but was removed from ESPN amid the scandal, would have a path to returning to First Take. After all, Stephen A. Smith called the effort to get Sharpe back on the show a work in progress earlier this year. This will not be the case, at least not anytime soon. A source familiar with the situation tells Awful Announcing that Shannon Sharpe's return to First Take is not under consideration at the moment. ESPN has historically exercised discretion in how it handles on-air personalities facing scandal, which is why the Bayless return is so curious. Bayless has not appeared on any mainstream sports outlet since FS1. The workplace misconduct lawsuit surfaced last year and has largely toiled in obscurity since his departure from FS1. Once a fixture of the morning sports talk, Bayless is now best known for posting lengthy screeds about the Dallas Cowboys on social media, offering up clear engagement bait to stay relevant. It begins, and then it goes on to say a few other things there, and then it says a few other things. So you guys can kind of read the rest of that article if you want to read it there. It's a bit wordy. What's my take on this? I have to admit to you that I am surprised. I won't lie to you. This development is a bit surprising to me. The reason it's surprising is because, Shannon, Shannon messed it up for himself. No one here is going to feel bad for Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe wasn't a victim of anything. He put himself in that situation, and he's a grown-ass man. But two things can be true. That can be true, but it can also be true that Shannon Sharpe is an immensely talented sportscaster. There's no two ways about it. And I said this about Shannon when he first got to FS1, and I loved that show. And I said it maybe a few years ago. I said, Shannon Sharpe will make more money in the next 5 years than he ever made in his entire life. I said that. The videos are out there. I said it because I was a huge fan of his. But I just didn't understand the antics surrounding him. I thought he was already popular enough, funny enough, charismatic enough to just do his work without needing all of the extracurricular things that came with it, with all of the antics and all. I thought it was unnecessary. I thought a lot of it was beneath him. And I thought that he diluted his brand by doing some of those cringeworthy things. Like, it was just, come on, like, this is beneath you. But a lot of people that were egging him on at the time and supported him, they're nowhere to be found now. These people egged him on to the point where he lost his job. And that's why you got to be careful when you're at a clown show and people are cheering you on. Just know that when the music stops, they'll move on too. So a lot of the people that would show you hating on Onk, where are they now? Where are they now? Are they sending Shannon Sharp GoFundMe's? Not to say that he doesn't have money. Obviously, he's very rich. But you get the point that I'm making. Are they going to replace his ESPN salary? Of course not. People want to be entertained, even if it's at your expense. And even if people try to step in and say, hey, man, look, you're making an ass out of yourself. People will fight you because you're interrupting their entertainment. And Shannon Sharp was their entertainment. People wanted to be entertained by the dirty section behavior. They loved it. People like myself didn't. It was after those recent incidents that a huge supporter in me of Shannon Sharp, I just said I couldn't do it no more. I don't follow Shannon Sharp on ESPN. I mean, anywhere. Instagram, I don't watch his shows. I mean, his shows may pop up from time to time. I'm not a supporter like I used to be because I thought like it went too far. It became a clown show. It was like the Kim Kardashian of sports. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? But all that being said, the guy's still very talented. Like, there's no question about it. And I think that if he were to make a return to ESPN, he would do very well. Now, some people complain and this and this and this, but I think he would, I think the guy, I mean, he's good. You can't take that away from him. There's a reason why he has such successful podcasts and he is who he is. We're not going to take that away from him. As you guys know, the day before yesterday, the Lakers lost Game 1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in the aftermath of that, the media is essentially scrambling. They're trying to figure out who to blame, what's the storyline, what's it going to be, who are we going to look for. And one of the people they try to kind of direct that towards was Luka Doncic. And there's kind of been murmurs circulating around that Luka, for his trip where he flew to Europe to go work on his knee or whatever it was, I forgot his hamstring, whatever, I forgot his injury, that he may have been doing other things, right? Maybe he went to go see his family. I think he just recently had a child. So there was speculations of that. And some people are like, oh, is he not committed to the Lakers organization anymore? Blah, 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 blah. So one of the people that was pushing this storyline was actually Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst went on the Rich Eisen show, and he actually said that, Luka went to Spain, and he may have been doing other things, and the Lakers probably gave him leeway. So what we want to do is we're going to play what Brian had to say here, and then we'll come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Brian Windhorst here.
And I'm a big actions over words guy.
Yes, you are.
When Luka got hurt, they sent Luka went to Spain for treatment. Have you ever heard of someone? I mean, I've heard of going to Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard of going to Spain. Now, Luka also has a newborn who is in Slovenia, and so I certainly think if he had an opportunity to go and get some time off, go to Slovenia and see your newborn child. He lives in Madrid in the off season, And I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying, like, when they sent him overseas, that was not an indication of a minor hamstring injury.
Right.
That was like, you're not going to be doing anything for a few weeks anyway, so
take some time.
Go ahead and go to Europe because you came back 48 hours after your child was born in the middle of the season. Go to Europe. And as soon as that happened, I was like, this does not sound like a small hamstring injury. And so that is unfortunately what it looks like is going on.
Great. So then I was just looking around for what to talk about, and I came across an article that says, Luka Doncic explains reason for Spain visit amid Brian Windhorst's speculation over hamstring injury. It says, although Luka Doncic was clear about expressing his reasons for visiting Spain, Brian Windhorst stored some speculation about Doncic's injury with his recent comments. Luka Doncic's prolonged absence due to a hamstring injury has been one of the major talking points for the Los Angeles Lakers lately. While the purple and gold undoubtedly need their superstar back, Doncic admitted that there's still some uncertainty about his return. Luka Doncic famously traveled to Europe to receive specialized treatment for his injury. However, ESPN's Brian Windhorst was not convinced by this narrative, and he shared a bold take on the matter during a recent appearance on the Rich Eisen show, which we already played for you. And then it says, while acknowledging the birth of Doncic's daughter, Windhorst hinted that the superstar may have taken time to visit his child rather than undergo the treatment. So he said that. Well, apparently Luka Doncic heard this story from Brian Windhorst, and he decided to respond. So what we want to do is we want to play what Luka Doncic had to say here, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Luka's response to Brian Windhorst's story.
Yeah, I went to Spain to do PRP, and it's obviously everybody knows that's in this that it's one of the best countries to do that, and obviously, we talked with the Lakers doctors, so everybody agreed for me to go there. Obviously, I know and trust lots of people from Spain that I used to work before, but why I was in Spain so long is because I needed 4 days in between every shot, so I did it 4 times, so that's why I stayed longer.
What do they say as far as being able to hopefully expedite your recovery after getting the PRP?
What means expedite?
Sooner, coming back faster, speed it up.
Oh, I'm just in the process. I'm working every day. I feel better every day. Like I said, in the beginning they say 8 weeks, so we'll just go from there.
Great. So you heard what Luka had to say. What are my thoughts about this? I'm glad that Luka responded to this story because these people are grasping for straws, right? We knew a few days ago, we knew about 4 days ago, or 5 days ago rather, that Luka Doncic was going to play for the second round. So what is the purpose of bringing up this story? Number one. Number two, by Brian saying this, he's planting a seed out there to essentially question Luka Doncic's motives. Like, is he really committed to the team, or is he committed to his personal affairs, right? You have that aspect of it. And even if Luka decided to go visit his newborn child, bro, are you stupid? Like, are you stupid? Like, the guy just had a child and you're thinking about the Lakers. Yeah, I get he's under contract and all of that, but they're people that work for companies, and when they have children, they have exceptions to the rule where they can go see their children. I mean, like, you're making it seem like as if they saw Luka Doncic rolling around in a strip club out there in Spain. Like, I'm confused. Even if that was a thing, and the guy wants to see his newborn child, and we're talking about this for what? Like, aren't you the same media that run around licking LeBron's ass every week about something that he's doing with Bronny and how it's a great thing? You guys love fatherhood. Now all of a sudden now, I mean, when even the Lakers drafted Bronny, when a lot of people said that he uses power, you guys loved all of it. Since when did you guys become so concerned about the affairs of the team? Man, knock it off. But I'm glad that Luka put out that response there and killed that story. I'm glad he did that because he said that essentially this treatment needed 4 days apart. You're supposed to take one injection a day for 4 days, hence the reason for his prolonged visit. But I'm like, even if he was out there and he saw his kids, so what? Like, I'm confused out here. Like, y'all, some of y'all be having y'all priorities in the wind, bro. The man just had a child and you're like, did he go secretly see his child? I'm like, and so what if he did? I'm confused. Like, that's supposed to be some kind of like bad thing that makes Luka Doncic look like a bad what? Like, I'm confused. I don't know where y'all priorities be at in life. Like, I'm confused. Like, I'd be really confused about it.